Hi guys, here we are playing Ace Attorney Investigations, Prosecutor's Gambit, as we are getting further and further. So yeah, ow, 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 ow. That's right, it was the camera crane. That was what Miguel saw, not Gordy. What? Sean's reversal was shot from nearby an elevated viewpoint. Viewpoint has only been possible if the camera is question attached to a crane. Oh, how do you heck did she make that mistake like that, huh? How indeed, Mr. Nichols? Yes? You told us when you might need new glasses, didn't you? Yeah, my eyes had gotten worse all of a sudden. Maybe that when you thought Sargari was quite heavily shrouded in darkness. That's right, I only saw a silhouette. But you done told us! Seemed like an enormous worm, you said. You know, to try to tell you it's pretty green, I'll agree with skin somehow. Yeah, no flesh on there. Metal bones, let alone skin. You're entirely correct, of course. About the crane, it is particularly a picture anyway, but they have a skin of a sort last night. I knew you were a scoop-header, but this plump down crazy. I don't want Tabby and me to starve, is that it? That wasn't my intention at all. I think it's time I finally put them out of their misery. Well, right here. It wasn't skin at all, it was this.
Take that!
Isn't it Ghost was seemingly likely to rain last night? Never happened in the end. But I think Sean might have covered the crane with a rainproof sheeting nonetheless. And that made the young reporters is when Nichols mistook for Gordy's skin. What? I heek. Well, Sean, am I mistaken? You see everything, don't you? Gotta say, you're pretty amazing. Thank you very much. Sorry, Miss Hart. But Miss Dr. Monster was no thing, it was simply a trick of the light. Ain't just like that, a dream dies again. Chief? I think I maybe finally shut them up. I thought the kid was holding out on us. That seems a little wrong, maybe. Alright. You know what a so-called monster was now. Everybody happy? Everybody except those two. Engine lying! President Autopsy. Report is out, sir. It is? Let me see it. Death was due to a full blown concussions and bone breakages caused by an extreme pressure from above. But we have our cause of death. He was crushed. As we thought. This result still hadn't come back from the yellow substance we found on his chest. But they did find a gunshot resident on his right hand. Gunshot resident? Okay. Because he was a kid at heart, huh? Gunshot resident, okay, is a substance left by when a firearm is disarmed. The president indicated that the president might have used a gun. Really? But we didn't find a gun anywhere, didn't we? He's still awake? It's of the night for him. It's again early morning. Indeed not, which makes it a resonance somehow real. We need to read that report carefully. Well, Angel Lang? That clears one thing up, at least. The president didn't die from a fall, which means he pushed from the roof of the big building. He was crushed by a falling Toro's head, just as we said he was. Yes, I have to accept that. Fine, you are right. Amazing. So that doesn't mean Judge Grateful is suspect anymore either. Surely it must, because both the cause and time of the death rule her out. We met the president the night before last. The autopsy reported the time of death at around 11 p.m. last night. You know, the Taurus head fell around 10 too. The facts all line up perfectly. Dude, that's a relief. What a relief. Sorry, but it might be a little too soon to celebrate. What? Sure, I think I can accept the falling head must have been killed the president. But what begs the question who should have caused it to fall, or who? Well, it happened late last night, so we have to think about who was here at the time. What are you getting exactly? You can't mean... I'm afraid I do. You did it, didn't you? Sean! The kid's hiding something. He was right here last night. Right around the body was found. He saw the footprint. And yet he wants us to believe he knows nothing about what happened. That's a big ass, surely. We haven't yet established if the footprints had anything to do with the murder. So even if he did see them, doesn't mean he was involved. Maybe not, but this face tells me different. So does the fact that he is like shaking like a leaf, like Angel Lang might have been onto something. John's going to talk. Fine, keep your mouth shut, kid. I have a bad idea. You don't really let your tape do the talking. But exactly how I play an Angel Lang. Police have some pretty image analyzing tools these days. Could go such extreme lengths to see my son's convicted? Not ideal, but if the boy won't talk, don't have any other way to get to the truth. But don't you? You have access to exactly such a device, don't you? Not? You do. Little V. Good. That should make this nice and quick. Edgeworth, might I request that you be the one you will carry out the analysis in question? I mean, I fear that Agent Lang might incline to believe the worst. But alright. The new code is discovered somewhere in this image data. I wonder. What the? What is it, Miss Edgeworth? Let me see. Hmm? What is it? What's the matter? Show me. Miss Edgeworth, the court asks you to share your findings. Zoom in on the top right part of the image and look closely. There's a person there. It's the president! Oh my! What? You're kidding, right? Well, I will say it's pretty decisive, wouldn't you? Doesn't look good for Sean at all. What? It doesn't prove anything. I didn't know he was there. I don't believe you, and those images does in fact prove something very important. That you and the president were here at the scene of the crime together. Admit it, kid, you murdered President Wang. No, that's ridiculous. Why? Why would he? John, you didn't. You can't have, can you? What do we do? What do we do, Miss Edgeworth? It's hard to push back against footage like that. Surely even you can't deny this pretty for the kid, Mr. Prosecutor. Yeah. He claimed he knew nothing about what happened. The president is right there with him. John, why? What are you not telling us? You have to know. He's right, Sean. It's the only way. The truth is, it was all my fault. What did you do? It was my fault that the Taurus head fell off the trailer. What happened while I was reversing? I went up the roof of the trailer to prep the kit I was using. I turned on the heater while I was there. I must have left it burning when I came back down to run my lines. When my mom called, I said to go talk to her. When I came back after the call, Taurus head had fallen from the roof and the president was just there lying next to it. No. We did find evidence of a fire having up on the roof. Just a tiny one. So I put it out myself. You're saying the president died because of Sean? If he did, would that make this whole thing just an accident? Did you do with it afterwards you found it on the ground? I took it apart, carried pieces up to the roof and put it back together again. You're saying you put out the fire and moved the head back towards where it fell from? In other words, you tried to cover your tracks. You're a real piece of work, kid. And then, like I did of this on purpose, I really just forgot to turn the heater off. And when the fire burned out through the legs of the table, it collapsed in the head. It should have fallen down to the ground below. You're right, the fire caused the head to fall. Indeed. I also have an idea about how the fire started. Paint thinner by the heater and are pretty flammable. Not a great place to keep them. You swear it was an accident? Seems a little convenient. What was the president even doing here in the first place? How the heck am I supposed to know? Oh crap. I didn't see anybody, I swear. I still don't believe you. Why would the president come to a place like this in the middle of the night? Even from coming here, something of a mystery. It's true. I think he's showing he's online, but not responding. Is it just my Discord is crashing up? I have that from time to time, just my Discord does weird. I can fix it basically, it's super easy to do. Genie for coming here and something out of a mystery, it's true. He made Judge Grave up on the roof 2 nights ago. And he was also here at the movie set last time. Come to meet Sean. He's definitely online. Because of what I said, and he's still awake. I was thinking like I could send it to him without any problem. We need to go through this voice statement very carefully indeed. Didn't notice anything unusual about the body? I didn't know. It was dark. He suddenly seems even more rejecting than usual. I don't think he wants to go back over that memory anymore. And he already has to, Miss Avery. He doesn't. But it's really all that it is. Can I push him a little harder? Just a teeny bit. It was dark, but you knew it was a body nonetheless. That's hiding something. I better find out what. Most people would cry out for help if they saw somebody lying on the ground. Yet you didn't. Yeah, because what's the point? He was dead. So you said, but I'm interested in is how you were able to be so sure. He was so certain that he was dead. You're lying on the ground and a huge head was next to him. Didn't take much to figure out what happened. Couldn't have guessed that an impact would have killed him. How did you really know? Tell me how, because you checked. Yeah, fine, I checked, okay. I was scared, but yeah, I went up to the body and looked. And he wasn't breathing. I was right. Why try to hide the fact? There must be a reason. Can you tell me your body looked at the point? I couldn't tell if he was dead at first. There was no blood or anything, so it was hard to be sure. Nothing on his clothes either. It was completely clean. But yeah, he wasn't breathing. I knew he was dead. Thank you. I would like you to add that statement to your testimony, if you don't mind.
Objection!
Nothing on the clothes? Nothing at all? Yeah, nothing. Why? Is there a problem with that? There's something you're clearly hoping that we have forgotten. What are you talking about? There isn't. That's not true. Luckily for you, remembered it rather well. Talking, of course, about the yellow speculoos on the president's chest. Ew. You have studied avoid mentioning them to your testimony. An absent I find suspicious, say at least. That's I hope for your sake you have a good factory explanation. That's grateful. Allow me to explain. But yellow residence on the president's chest? I imagine it was from the bouquet of flowers. Lion lilies, to be precise. Lion lilies? Nights ago, I met the president on the roof on the big building. Sent him with a bouquet. They're a type of lilies with large pedicels. Imagine that was the substance on the president's wings because of pollen from those flowers. But there's no dye in the print out from the security camera, only because the president was in the way. Why give him the flowers? That's something I'm liberated to do. What? More secrets? Are you serious? First you won't tell us why you met him, and now you can't even tell us about the flowers? Sincere apologies, but it's all I can tell. That is, I gave him the bouquet. Sorry. Yeah, this is where I'm gonna end it off for today, guys. I wish you all a good day, a good week, and peace, my prayers. Have a nice day. Until next time, bye bye.